On the third Sunday of Lent, we weren't here. Things in the world changed really quickly. And we were supposed to baptize a baby today, but we'll baptize him later, and we'll all have a beautiful day that day. But one of the things we were going to talk about in our garden for this Sunday was water. Because in the Old Testament story, Moses and the Israelites are traveling, and the Israelites are very thirsty. And so they get really miserable with Moses, and they say, "Come on, did you just drag us out into the wilderness to kill us with thirst?" So Moses prayed to God and said, "Oh, this is such a difficult people. What am I supposed to do?" And God said, "Take the rod that you used to part the Red Sea and strike this rock over here, and it'll pour forth with water." And it did. And everybody had plenty to drink. And for that day anyway, everybody kind of quit complaining. Although they did name that place Contention because the people were so grumbly at that point. But water is a really important thing, isn't it? It's part of what we need to live. It helps things to grow. And in spiritual practice, water is a really good tonic for lots of things. First of all, when you drink water, you remember that you are human, and it's a refreshing thing. It's the most refreshing thing you can drink when you're thirsty. In the church, we use water to baptize because we're reminded in the scriptures that water is a way in which we are connected with God and made new, born in a different way, to see things differently by being born of water and the Spirit. And so when we baptize, we bring the baby or the child or the adult into a new relationship with God and with us. And that's pretty exciting. And it's kind of a new start. So water's kind of like a new start. But if you're already doing the spiritual practice of, say, pilgrimage, or even mindfulness, sometimes the sound of water can be another way of calming down your spirit so that you can think more clearly about your relationship with God. When we hear the rain pattering on the window, when we hear water running along a water course like a stream or a creek, and it goes over rocks and branches and things, it makes a beautiful burbling noise. And so we think about water as being part of our spiritual quest, that we can sit by a pool and look into it and marvel at its beauty of just lying there reflecting light. We can think about it when we hear it and how calming it is, or to hear not only the babbling of a brook, but maybe waves on the shore. Very calming sounds for human beings. Jesus met with a woman at a well, and that well had been there for a long, long time and had belonged to all of their ancestors. But now, Jesus' people and this woman's people, they didn't get along very well anymore. But Jesus and the woman managed to sit down around this well and have a pretty good conversation. And one of the things that happened was that the woman drew water for Jesus to drink. And then Jesus said, "You know what? I'm the water that wells up to eternal life. Anyone who drinks of me will never thirst again." And so we even think of Jesus as being like water, a refreshing, cold drink that sustains us, that gives us energy and hope. And so on this Sunday, we remember that Jesus comes to us in the wilderness also as water. Mindfulness, pilgrimage, and water.